Hello, I'm Captain Jack and welcome to the Hangar Bay. On this channel, we take a deep dive into the best starships, technology, and more from your favourite sci-fi universes. Today, we're talking about the Starships of Stargate. Not just any ships, but the biggest starships in the universe of Stargate. While you're watching this video, make sure to mention your favourite Stargate Starship in the comments below. Remember to hit that subscribe button for the latest videos. As a quick disclaimer, the measurements and dimensions of Stargate ships is a highly debatable subject among the fandom, mainly as there are typically conflicting information sources about how big a ship actually is. A prime example of this is the real size of a Daedalus. Let's see how we do in this video. As we work our way to the big ships of the Stargate universe, let's quickly recap the smaller ships seen in various TV series and movies. First up, the ancient puddle jumper. It came to a length of 8 meters. Perfect to fit for a Stargate. A Wraith dart was around 10 meters in length. An Ori fighter was the length of 13.716 meters. Earth's F302 fighter interceptor, typically found on board the BC304 class, was 14.26 meters long, with a width of 26.17 meters and a height of 5.92 meters. A Goa'uld Teltak had a length of 15 meters, while the bigger Elkesh had a length of 35 meters. Okay, let's talk about the big ships of the Stargate franchise. Earth's first interstellar design, the X303 Prometheus, came in at a length of 195 meters, with a width of 80 meters and a height of 65 meters. The first of its design, it was designed to rely on heavily reverse-engineered Goa'uld technology to operate a number of key systems. Eventually, Prometheus was upgraded with Asgard technology such as shields and hyperdrives. In 2005, Prometheus was destroyed in a battle. Sadly, no more of the class was made, with Homeworld Command diverting all funding to the newly launched BC304 line of ships. See our full breakdown of the Prometheus class here on the Hangar Bay YouTube channel. The Asuran Cruiser was a type of spaceship used by the Asurans. This ship would complement their Aurora-class warships. The cruiser seemed to act as a support ship to the Aurora-class. Much like puddle jumpers, they can cloak. While support ships, not many of this type of vessel has ever been encountered, which suggests they could be an older type of ship and therefore not in use as much. In terms of size, we have seen a cruiser engage the BC304 Apollo, in which the cruiser does appear to be smaller. Launched as a successor to Prometheus, the Daedalus-class BC304 Battlecruiser was a popular design for humanity. It led to 6 ships of the class being launched. These were the Daedalus, the lead ship of the class, Odyssey, Earth's flagship, Korolev, Apollo, Sun Tzu, and George Hammond. The BC304 had a length of 225 meters, though this is a highly debatable subject as some believe the ship to be bigger. The deep space carrier proved to be a vital asset to humanity in the many conflicts they would find themselves in. For example, the Daedalus played a critical role in aiding the Atlantis expedition in their conflict with the Wraith. Additionally, the Odyssey would also prove vital to stop the forces of the Ori during the Arc of Truth campaign. Ultimately, the BC304 proved to be the most effective starship produced by humanity as of 2010. The Wraith Cruiser is an interesting ship when it comes to the size of it. There have been multiple disputes over the actual size of this ship. However, it's revealed in the Stargate Atlantis second season premiere that Wraith Cruisers are around the same size as the Daedalus-class BC304. The scene of a Daedalus being ambushed and a Wraith Cruiser attempting to board proves the ships are a similar size. The size difference between these ships could easily be explained due to the organic nature of the Wraith starships. Regardless, we prefer to see the Wraith Cruiser as just around the same size as the Daedalus, so perhaps 300 meters? Ancient seed ships were a part of the Destiny mission. These unmanned spaceships were launched from Earth by the ancient tens of millions of years ago and were a vital part of the Destiny mission plan. These seed ships would make a path of the Destiny across the universe by finding suitable planets and planting stargates on them. The seed ships would then transmit the information back to the Destiny. A seed ship was typically around half the size of a Destiny. As the Destiny measures around 747 meters, we can theorize that the seed ship should measure around 373 meters in length. The seed ships had the ability to manufacture new stargates. During the reign of the Goa'uld Empire in the Milky Way galaxy, the sighting of a Hatak Mothership usually spelled bad news for those who saw it. This ship design was a primary Goa'uld spaceship, a sign of their power and prestige. The class had a length of 700 meters and a width of 650 meters, and of course a height of 315 meters. At one point, the Hataks were some of the most powerful vessels in the Milky Way galaxy. However, with the rise of humanity as an interstellar power and the downfall and fragmentation of the Goa'uld system lords, The Hatok design slowly fell down the ranking as powerful ships when compared with Earth's own Asgard refitted BC304 line of ships. However, the ship line would still be effective in numbers against other opponents like the Lucian Alliance. One of the oldest known starship designs was the Destiny. This ancient ship was constructed more than 50 million years ago and launched from Earth. It came in at a length of 747 meters with a width of 518. It was designed to explore planets and follow a course laid out by several automated starships, which were launched ahead of Destiny to seed Stargates. The plan was for the Destiny crew to join the ship at a later date, as it was launched without them. Ultimately, other endeavours of the Ancients, like Ascension and more, meant they never followed through on their plan. Destiny was left to travel through the universe alone for millions of years. By 2009, the Icarus expedition had arrived on board and made the ship their new home. It was slowly brought back to operational capacity and took on a new adventure. While being quite old, it could still put up a fight and defend itself against modern combatants. One of the smaller Asgard starships was the Asgard Science Vessel. At a length of 1,000 meters and a width of 800 meters, one of the ships was used by Thor, Supreme Commander of the Asgard Fleet. He named that vessel the Daniel Jackson, after Dr. Daniel Jackson of SG-1. The ship appeared to be a somewhat modern design, perhaps newer than the Bilskirnir-class of Starship. While small, it still packed advanced systems and fast engines to make it a force to be reckoned with. The Ori Warship was the primary starship used by the followers of Origin on their crusade to convert those of the Milky Way galaxy to follow the Ori. At a length of 1,100 meters and a width of 850 meters, the vessel design boasted advanced weapons and shields, which could make light work of a Goa'uld Hatak-class starship. While humanity's BC304 ships could hold up to one of these ships, multiple could easily overwhelm one. Only the last great weapon design of the Asgard race, their beam weapons, could effectively deal with Ori warships. These beam weapons proved effective in taking down and causing crippling blows to many Ori warships. The tide slowly changed in the war against Origin. The Goa'uld known as Sokar had constructed a new type of mothership, which would eventually be used by Apophis as the flagship of his fleet. The mothership was several times larger than a traditional Hatak mothership. This type of vessel possessed many advances due to its size. For example, a faster hyperdrive, superior shields, and weapons which could destroy a standard Hatak in 6 shots, via bypassing the shields. No exact measurement is given for this type of warship. Only one of these ships is ever seen and shortly destroyed afterwards, so we can consider it a unique mothership. The might of the Asgard was their Bilskirnir-class warship, commonly referred to as an Asgard Mothership. This vessel came in at a length of 1,400 meters and a width of 640 meters. The ship boasted advanced weapons and shields and represented the Asgard at the height of their power across multiple galaxies. The vessel could be identified by its distinctive hammer shape, with wings by the sides and a greyish hull. Ultimately, the Asgard would start to replace these ships with a newer line known as the O'Neill-class. As mentioned, the Asgard slowly started developing the O'Neill-class of ships. As the most advanced Asgard creation by the year of 2000, it came in at a length of 1,500 meters and a width of 700 meters. The ship class was named after Jack O'Neill of Stargate Command, one of the SG-1 leaders. The Asgard were already in the process of constructing an entire fleet of O'Neill-class ships to replace the now aging Bilskirnir-class of starships. This was evident in the later 2000s as more O'Neill-class ships were spotted in several engagements. For example, during a battle of a supergate, the Asgard would dispatch one of these ships to aid the forces of the Milky Way galaxy in their short-lived defense attempt. Ultimately, all of these ships, and other Asgard vessels, were destroyed when the race committed mass suicide. Perhaps one of the most terrifying starships in the Stargate universe was Anubis' Mothership. This was a class of Goa'uld vessel found under the command of Anubis. He had constructed 2 of these vessels, with the first one being lost and the second serving as his immediate replacement, though it would also later be destroyed. The vessel came in at a length of 2,000 meters with a width of 1,200 meters. The starship was fitted with a plasma superweapon that could be both used to destroy a fleet of ships, but also a whole planet as well. Unfortunately, while powerful, the shield systems did have a weakness where if they were in a planet's atmosphere, they would only operate at 40% effectiveness. This was the downfall of the first Anubis Mothership, with it being destroyed by a group of ships while in the atmosphere of Langaria. Ancient drone weapons were also able to pierce these shields. The Wraith Hive ship was the primary vessel used by the Wraith in their many conquests and cullings in the Pegasus galaxy. As the vessels were organically grown, their size could vary. It seems a measurement of 2,800 meters is most accurate. However, with advanced power systems such as the ancient ZPM, a Wraith Hive could evolve into a Wraith Superhive, which was significantly bigger than the standard design. The pride of the ancient Atlantean fleet was the Aurora-class Battleship. Alone, these ships could easily deal with threats to the ancient fleet operations. The size of the ship came in at around 3,000 to 3,500 meters, depending on configuration it would seem. Though there is some debate in Stargate over the real size of each ship. By the time the Atlantis expedition arrived in the Pegasus galaxy, the Aurora-class had not been seen since the Ancients lost the war with the Wraith and left via the Stargate back to Earth. Most of these ships had been destroyed in battles with the Wraith. A handful survived, such as the Orion, which was discovered in an old ancient research outpost, and the Tria, which was travelling through space just shy of light speed. Both of these ships would be destroyed. Okay, while technically not a starship, as its class is a mobile city, we can count the ancient city ship as a starship. As such, this design comes in as the biggest ship in the Stargate franchise, and represented one of the last major achievements of the ancient Atlantean civilization. While no information is confirmed for the size of Atlantis, we can say the city ship comes in at around 4,000 meters across from north to south end. Some take Atlantis for the size of Manhattan Island, which is around 21.6 kilometers wide. We leave you with this question: how big do you think the ancient city ship actually is? Comment your answers down below. What do you think of our Stargate Starships list? It's worth noting that Stargate Starships are sometimes often debated when it comes to real size. On several occasions, multiple different sizes have been given out for several of the ships. For example, the BC304 is commonly listed as 225 meters, but some data charts reference it as 600 meters, which does seem rather large, so it really is up for debate. If you want to keep the Stargate adventures going, click the playlist on the end screen now for our dedicated Stargate Starship breakdowns on the Prometheus and the BC304 Daedalus. That's the end of this video. I've been Captain Jack in the Hangar Bay. Remember, if you're talking about science fiction, we want to hear about it.